Everybody knows that SUBTREE sometimes have a lot of copy-paste, but here are 3 aircraft that make the Thai SUBTREE for the Japanese tech tree worth to actually grind. We're gonna talk about 3 aircraft that I kinda love to play with because they are copy-paste here and there. Of course, in a general sense, they are all copy-paste, but at the end of the day, they are worth to get it because of the small differences that they have to their counterparts as a copy. Okay, so let's start with one of the most interesting ones in my opinion, the F-16A OCU that tech tree has. Why is this the most interesting aircraft? Because the F-16AJ that was added to the Japanese tech tree never was too interesting, apart from the thing that makes it up for being basically a Block 10 that can do BVR with the Sparrow, right? But at the end of the day, it's an aircraft that never properly existed technically, and this is a real aircraft that was used by the Thai, right? The interesting part about this aircraft is that it is an F-16A, you know, so it's a normal Block 15 OCU here, but with small modifications done to it to obviously use the AIMO 20 and also the Python 3, so it kind of becomes a interesting, almost top tier jet, right? It is kind of a high tier to an F-16A, but at the end of the day, it is an aircraft that it is, you know, capable of dealing with any type of enemy just because of its weapons. So I like it because it is easy to use. Everybody knows how to use an F-16. The aircraft is very standardized, and everybody like kind of has one almost, so it means that everybody knows how to use it. So it's a great addition to the highest ranks of the Japanese tech tree because it's a proper aircraft that was used and existed in real life together with a odd payload of an F-16A. At the end of the day, it will turn more than some of the other F-16s that you see in these higher BRs. Still has the same weapons, although the Python 3 can be easily fooled. It is still a pretty good missile, and the AIMO 20 is still one of the best, if not the best, BVR missile in the game, right? Which means that this combination of easy to use, interesting loadouts, and a nation that needed top, like higher tier rank vehicles options for you, now finally has one, and it's just very, very interesting to fly. So as you saw, the AIMO 20, it is indeed a very good weapon, and you can get a lot of BVR kills. You kind of need to not get greedy, like I did a little bit here. I saw these 3 targets, and I fired 3 AIMO 20s onto them, and eventually I'm just gonna kill one of them, right? So, yeah, it should have been more, but they were flying, you know, kind of perpendicular to me. I fired a Python on the Su-27 there that eventually got him killed as well, but the MiG-29 saw my missile coming, so I wasted technically 5 missiles to get 2 kills, which is not the most efficient way to use it, but that's the thing, right? You might not have a lot of missiles, but it's still a very standardized aircraft, so you can use it in any way that you want, and you will get kills because it is very, you know, it's a pattern of just how a top tier aircraft should be like, right? You have a radar that is capable of using TWS, so it's a pretty good radar. Not the most amount of range, but it's enough for you to use with your AIMO 20s. The Python 3s are good enough so that you can actually get dogfight kills with it. I mean, it doesn't have IRCCM, but it's still pretty good. Maneuverability is amazing. Everything is pretty good on this aircraft, and everybody can use a Vulcan, everybody can use an AIMO 20, this radar, everything is very easy in the user kind of sense, which is different from the Gripen, for example, that you get in that same tech tree. So I just think that although the Gripen is the more advanced aircraft, the F-16A is just more interesting because it's an easier aircraft for anybody to use in any situation, right? So it's a very, very fun and easy aircraft to fly. So I was pursuing this MiG-29 right there to see if we can actually get him. Of course, I only had the cannon, which is kind of a secondary weapon nowadays with these jets, but you still need to get some kills. So I'm trying to maintain a proper speed of turn if the guy really wants to dogfight. So I'm trying to control the speed over here, try to get a shot at, but it wasn't very good. Just gonna stay on him, and he eventually crashes. So yeah. Then we go for another one that I think is one of my most, like, odd choices, probably. But the Alpha Jet TH, right? This aircraft is weird to use, but it's so fun at the same time. Why is that? Well, it's a very normal Alpha Jet. It doesn't have too many differences from the other ones. The main thing here is that you do have a lot of flares, of course, but you have the AIM-9 P4s, which are AIM-9 Ps with basically the AIM-9L Seeker, right? Which means that they are all aspect. They don't turn a lot, and you will miss some of these missiles, but you can get a lot of kills just because of it, right? And you will fight some very interesting aircraft to fight against, like aircraft that are way faster than you, that have BVR that you have to be careful, etc, etc. But at the end of the day, you can dogfight very well and get a lot of kills with just the dogfight and the AIM-9 P4. So it's an aircraft that not a lot of people are paying attention to in the middle of the match. A lot of people are just oblivious to it. They think it's just a small aircraft that doesn't have anything. People are just not accustomed to seeing this thing firing or being these BRs and firing these missiles, right? So you can get a lot of kills by just surprising targets. Of course, you don't have a lot of speed, and it's just, I mean, an Alpha Jet, so you have to worry about using it as an Alpha Jet, a very slow aircraft, but it turns very well, and it has very good missiles. The cannon, I mean, it might not be the greatest thing ever, but it's still pretty good. You can use it very well. So, yeah, it is worth to get just because it's an Alpha Jet that has these missiles. That's pretty much the main thing, right? An aircraft that anybody that loves a dogfighter will find this thing perfect to use. So you gotta just have patience. For example, with these F8U, you gotta, you know, buy your time a little bit, you know, just keep an eye on, make sure you are right there, and you're not gonna miss anything, any action, right? So that eventually, when the target becomes oblivious to you, basically, you're gonna get the kill. So it's a different way of using an aircraft because you are in such a high BR with such a slow aircraft, and you do have to be careful with this cannon. Sometimes it feels weird to use it, but it is such a good dogfighter that you will have plenty of time on killing targets with it. Amazing missiles, amazing everything, to be honest. So yeah, another kill. And then the last one that I'm not gonna talk too much about because I know a lot of people will complain maybe about this choice, but the AV-8S Late. Why am I choosing this aircraft? Because it is basically a premium aircraft that you can get for grind, you know. So it's the same aircraft that we have as a premium with better AIM-9Ls, you know, with better missiles. It can do very well in a dogfight. It has very good missiles, but of course it's a very high tier. So it's kind of a challenge to fly this thing sometimes because, again, you have to have patience because these things are not that fast, just like the Alpha Jet. But it is very cool. The AIM-9s, they're amazing at these BRs, so not a lot of people have these missiles at these BRs. Some people do, but yeah, you get the idea, right? So it's a premium aircraft. Like I said, it's just a Matador, an AV-8S, but you can get just grinding, right? So it's very much worth it, in my opinion. Even putting a talisman on this, you can get a lot of kills. Very easy aircraft to fly. It's just a little bit difficult on the matchmaking. But yeah, guys, basically this is it. These are my 3 choices on why these nations, they are so... these sub-trees, they might be at first not very appealing, but you can find some gold down here, you know. You can find some aircraft that are very interesting to fly. Although they are copy-paste, it is worth to actually check it out. So check it out, all the aircraft on the SUBTREE. There are the F5Ts, but I don't like them too much because they're basically the same as the FCU, but a little bit worse because they have less missiles, so it's kind of weird. But even though they are an upgraded like F5 FCU, right? But at the end of the day, you know, you do you. There are some other aircraft that are interesting. The A7E is very good for air to ground in ground battle, so yeah. Let me know in the comments, and of course the Gripen as well is pretty good, but I just find it that it's easier to use the F16 for the majority of the average player, okay? I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, bye guys, see ya.